Hey y'all, it's Wild Riley again. I thought I'd do a little review on the old Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn barbecue grill. So recently I burned out my grill. It was a long time coming. I kept babying my old grill along over here. You know, I put foil on the old smokestack to make it so it was a little more efficient. Because if you look down there, there's a big gaping hole. Like, dude, I barbecue a lot, right? Always have, probably always will. But the little perch for the grates blew out, and I tried to use like an old nail, like a big spike, like a big fence nail to hold it all straight. Man, these cast iron grills, like these cast iron grates, are awesome because they far outlast steel. Just so you know, anything with this old cast iron grates, dude, they way outlast that. And then I had to wrap, you know, the gas burners with like foil. And keep like putting them in position, you know, and we had to replace these. So these are relatively new actually, to keep it going. You can see all the cred in the bottom. Dude, I totally burned this grill out. This side, same kind of thing. I use the smoker portion quite a bit. And it came with this thing where you can kind of pick up and remove the briquettes, all the ashes and everything, and clear it out relatively easy. So anyway, this was a good grill. It lasted 4 years. This other one, it's a char griller. It lasted a good long while. 4 years of using it regularly, you know, 2, 3, 4 times a week, barbecuing, cooking outdoors. And I burned it out. The grill's shot. Look at that. It's just shot. It wouldn't work anymore. I couldn't cook on it anymore. So I used it until it was just no longer practical. And then I was like, okay, well, time for a new grill. And so I saw the same exact grill, you know, here and there and everywhere at all your big box stores. And I decided, well, I would get the same grill again. Really, but let's try something new. So I tried this Oklahoma Joe's grill, and I like smoking meat. I used to smoke a lot of fish and you know, brisket and everything as a kid. So I didn't really smoke so much on that as much as barbecue on it. So I test fired this one. The actual burners are closer to the grate, so you can kind of tone it down and it's more efficient. I broke the whole grill in. But lately I've been using mesquite and briquettes to cook with. So there you go. Super easy to get going. Have a little Weber charcoal starter, which works good to get everything cooking. And then usually I come back with a couple of oddball pieces of oak, because I live in oak woodland, so there's plenty of it. So all the knuckles and things that don't really go in the fireplace, I use them over here in the barbecue. So I threw those on top of the mesquite. And then there's a way to clean it out pretty easy. So you just remove that grill when everything's cooled off and pretty much scrape out all the ashes into a bucket. I just set the bucket there on those hollow blocks and boom, good to go. So you can close it. It has a little thing like that where you can swing open a little gateway and let air in, or you can kind of open that. And I use the insert in our fireplace very much the same way. But there's honestly enough gaps and everything to where you get enough airflow all the way around, so that when you run your smoker, you can just keep it buttoned up tight, and then let the smoke kind of do its thing. Well, as soon as I opened it, now it's catching on fire. So I have a little bit of water in a mason jar here, and you can douse it. That's one way to help control the temperature. And it's nice because there's like a little angled place to set things. You can set like a frying pan there and maintain warmth. So if you want to have a little bowl of chili or something on the side, you just set it right here. Boom. It stays nice and warm so that when everything else is ready, you're good to go. The gauges are nice. So you got your smoke, barbecue, and grill setting, relatively accurate. So I kind of just keep it between 250 and 300 degrees to smoke my meat. So here I have a couple of different types of pork. There's the pretty much little thin T-bone steaks, and then ham hocks. So not tonight, but probably tomorrow night, or maybe the next night, I'm gonna have ham hock soup with pork in it. So this is all gonna be used for that ham hock soup that I grew up on. Pretty good way to have a big dinner and stretch out a lot of food. Pretty much rehydrate some beans. I got black beans, pinto beans, and red beans. I'm gonna throw those ham hocks in there, and then pretty much fillet off all the rest of the meat off of those sharp T-bones because it's real thin. The little bones are kind of sharp. And we'll have food for like 2-3 days. Honestly, we probably won't be able to finish it, so part of it goes usually to the chickens, but a small part of it. We'll eat our fill and then the rest will go to the chickens. So, a little review on the old Oklahoma Joe's smokers. I've been using this thing for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, and it's running great. Got a little adjustable flute right here, flume, so you can kind of tone it down from that point. Tone it all the way down, get it going real hot, and then tone that down and it'll just smoke to high heaven. So you can cook on this portion with the propane and then move it over here to the smoker. You can cook 2 different things. You can entertain a big party over here on the end. So I got my trash can right there. Over here on the end is a burner for like a stove top. And cool thing about this one too is it's a pretty good sized burner. One thing I'd like to figure out a way to do is like keep this hatch kind of like vertical to create like an extra windbreak, because it sits pretty flat. It sits pretty flat on the grill, or on the in relation to the grill. So something that would kind of like a little stopper or something might not be a bad idea, just to create like a slight windbreak. However, that feature might help accommodate like a bigger frying pan or a bigger pot or something like that. So you win some, you lose some. Just something to think about. But you can see a little sparker. My propane's turned off, so it's not going to ignite. But this grill is cool. It comes with some storage space, so you can hang your utensils here. They come with a hook. Got my cleaner. I'm going to put my spatula, my prongs, and everything on this rail here. Like I said, I keep my charcoal starter just underneath it, trying to keep everything level, so I had to build like an extension pad. You can store extra grates, extra equipment, extra charcoals, things heavy. This is pretty thick gauge steel in comparison to the other one, so it's a lot heavier. And it has these big wheels that make it so that it kind of rides up and over and around little ledges, like if you're trying to get it over, a crease or, around stuff. It kind of rides over that pretty good. It didn't take much effort to move it into place. But I pretty much built this whole thing, or assembled it, off the back of my truck. So I let down the tailgate, I had to build it in sections and then assemble it. I followed the instructions exactly how they went, and it was like really easy to put this together. It probably took like an hour and a half. And I hate putting things together, like IKEA furniture or whatever. It sucks. I hate putting it together. This thing, so far, big thumbs up. If you want to get a Oklahoma Joe's smoker grill, I highly recommend something like this. Really makes for good smoked everything, really. I've done tri-tips on it already. I've done flap steak. Haven't done chicken yet, but working on pork, different types of meat. Sausage would be bomb in this thing. Neighbors are like, "What are you eating over there? I want in on it." So, anyway, if you're thinking about getting a grill, look into this one. Maybe check out other people that have reviewed it. But I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, I hope you all having a good day. Thanks for checking out my channel. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now. Wild Rally out.